Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, we'll be going over an Azure management upgrade and also going over a cool method that I haven't seen any official documentation on. I think it might be unsupported, but for those of you that are interested in a cool method where you can detach the network interface from your old management and attach it to the new one. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So this is my Azure environment. Right now, I just currently have two virtual networks. I have VNet 01, which is part of the manual underscore lab resource group here, as well as manual underscore gateway, which is part of the manual underscore gateway resource group. So VNet 01 contains the management subnet, which is where I have my management server sitting, and then the manual underscore gateway is just another virtual network for my gateway, and I simply just have a VNet peering set up between the two networks. I'm going to show you here. We do have the management subnet, which is 10.0.0.0, and let's go ahead and take a look at what we'll be doing. So I have manual underscore lab 2, and I do have another resource group here, management underscore new. But let's go ahead and take a look at the old management here. So on this one, we have Chris Manager, which is the name of my management virtual machine, with the private IP address of 10.0.0.4. And the goal of this video is we're going to spin up a new management in the management underscore new resource group, and we're actually going to go ahead and detach the Chris Manager -ETH0 network interface that holds this private as well as public IP address and attach it to the new management. This is pretty cool because if you have, for example, a lot of static routes or any other kind of configuration that's relying on the private IP address, you won't really have to mess around with too much. Just one off the top of my head I can think of also is licensing that's assigned to the specific private IP address. Typically, you'd have to go through account services and kind of do work on getting the license swapped over to the new private IP. So there's a couple of cool advantageous things when doing this. All right, so what we'll do is go ahead and spin up the new one, and well, first things first, let's go ahead and get a migrate export off of our off of this management. So we have this running right now, this public IP address. Go ahead and pop this into PuTTY. And we'll go ahead and cd to fwdir / bin, and it's upgrade tools. And before we do this export, I'll actually log in for you guys, just so we can see the database. Let's make sure that when we import it into the new management that everything is the same. So if you notice, I'm using the R8040 Smart Console in the old management, so I'm just going to be doing 8040 to 8040 management migration for the demo purposes, but this could be used exactly in the same way for an upgrade from a older version. All right, so we have the gateway. Security policy. Just an accept on the cleanup rule here. And let me see if we have the gateway. We can turn the gateway on just to get that. Anyways, we don't have to wait for that to fire up. Let's go ahead and do the migrate export. Create like a test object or something. Let's do... That way we can verify this. Not that we really have to do this, but just to have that in the database. Alright, and we can publish. We'll close this, and we do the migrate export. We'll do today's date, July 22nd. Let this run, get WinSCP ready. Alright, operation completed successfully. Let's go ahead and grab that off the box. Logged into WinSCP over here. And we'll go browse to the directory. All right. And we can go ahead and spin up the new management. So we'll go and close this, and we'll get to it. So we can just type in alias up here in the search bar, and go to CloudGuard alias here, and we'll do management. We can create a new resource group. I'm just going to call it management new. And same region. I believe it does have to be in the same region, otherwise you won't be able to use the same network interface. Server name, you're going to want to name it the exact same thing. So in this case, Chris Management. Set your password. We'll be doing 8040. Bring your own license is fine. And default virtual machine size for this demo, it's fine. And everything looks good. And so this one doesn't really matter, since we're just going to be detaching and reattaching the new network interface, but I'll pop this in the same virtual network subnet as well, management. All right. And now we just pretty much wait. So it'll take probably about 15 minutes to have everything up and running. And we'll check back in as soon as that's ready to rock and roll. Alright, so we just got deployment is complete. Go ahead and pop over to the resource group. And we'll go ahead and pop into the virtual machine here. And at this point, we'll have, we should get the public IP. Oh, sorry, this is the disk. Let's go back. And it's probably still have to wait another 10 minutes, give or take, but let's just check up on it. Yeah, so you'll get this, and Just give it another 10 minutes or so, and we'll check back in. All right, so as we can see, the new management is up and running. It currently has the the private IP of 10.0.0.7 as well as this public. But we're gonna get that changed. So for right now, what we have to do is pop back over and actually go ahead and create. Let's pop over to Manual Lab 2, which is where I had the old management. And remember, we want to take this interface and attach it to the new one. So what we're going to have to do is actually, first things first, power this off. All right, so it's finished powering off. So we can go back here. And at this point, we can't detach it because it's the only interface. So we'll go ahead and create a temporary one. Okay, this doesn't really matter what you put in there because we're not really going to use that interface. Wait for that to get created. All right, and now we can actually detach this one. I think I was doing some testing before, and I think we might have more than one Chris Manager ETH0 because we have one available here. Oh, Chris Management, that's a different one. Chris Manager ETH0. Hang on, so we don't get confused here. Let me go to my virtual networks and remove the other Chris Manager ETH0. Go here. Yeah, because the 10.0.0.4 is the one assigned. All right, so this is the new one. If you see here, it's 10.0.0.8 because I actually had to spin up a new virtual machine. I actually named it Chris Management by mistake. So now I have the old one with 10.0.0.4, the new management with 10.0.0.8, and we're good. So let's go back to Manual Lab 2. And go in here. And go ahead and detach this. All right. Now we can go to management underscore new 2 and go ahead and check on this one. Alright, so the new management is spun up. So what we want to do is go ahead and power this off. Alright, now that the new management is stopped, you can go over to the networking tab here, and we can actually go ahead and attach Crisp Manager ETH0. This is the one from the old management. I recommend you to attach this one instead of creating a temporary one and then detaching this one and then attaching the other one, because you won't know which Crisp Manager ETH0 it would be. Alright, so we have the 10.004 with the public IP address here. We'll go ahead and detach this one now. Okay, we do see here that the correct one is still attached. We'll go ahead and fire it up. And it's not going to work yet. What we have to do is actually go to the serial console here. Alright, so the management's booted up. You're going to get this spam here. Keeps telling you that there's no routes. But you can go ahead and still log in. You can type. And it'll be fine. Alright, so we're in expert mode, so let's go to Clish. And let's do a show interfaces. So we can see here, it shows up as ETH1. And remember, this is ETH0 interface. So I just wanted to show you guys here on the first boot up with the old NIC, it's going to be ETH1. But as soon as we do an actual reboot, let's go ahead and do that, it will show up as ETH0, and then we can configure it, and that's pretty much it. So let's just do let's go and open up another tab really quickly. We're going to need the public IP, and you're going to need to set the alias. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this over so I can type it out. Alright, so alright, let's go back to Clish, show interfaces, and we can see, boom, there we go, ETH0, which is what it's supposed to be. But if we do show interface ETH0, we can see that the state's off, as well as IPv4 is not configured or anything. So let's do set interface ETH0 state on. Okay. State's on, links up, and let's go and set the IPv4 address. So we'll do set interface ETH0 IPv4 dash address space 10.0.0.4 space mask dash length 24. Okay, so we have, there we go, and we can see that the errors are gone. And let's go ahead and just add the new alias. We do interface ETH0 52.188.156.104 space /32 enter. Alright guys, sorry, kept playing around with this command, I forgot. So you're actually not supposed to put a space at the end here with the /32. So we do that, and then we do show interface, and I'm sorry, we can do show interfaces. We can see ETH0 :1 is there. And at this point, we can actually just go ahead and try to connect. Do 52.188.156.104. And there we go. So we have the new management up and running, and let's do the migrate import and fire up Smart Console and see. All right, migrate import's complete. We're going to restart our startup checkpoint services. All right, it's running and ready. So let's go and connect. There we have it. So we're up and running. New management. If we go to network objects, we have test right here. And there you go. There you have it. SIG is communicating. Let's go ahead and push pause to the gateway, make sure everything is working. Policy is installed. I don't know why this is, oh, there we go. Got the green status and showing CPU and memory. It looks good. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video.